Hello everyone, this is Coach Dinosaur. In the previous opening of the Pirc Austrian Attack, we have talked about the bishop d3. Today, we will talk about another major option that white may play. And again, this opening is meant for black's preparation. So here we go. e4, d6, d4, knight f6, knight c3, g6, f4, the Austrian attack, bishop g7, knight f3, castle, and now bishop e3. In this position, white's main point is to castle on the queen side and plan to attack the king side, but uh, here we will demonstrate how we can deal with this line. So in this position, black should play b6. The b6 gives white square bishop another fianchetto on b7 to attack the e4. So black white now plays queen d2, and again there are other possibilities that white can proceed. One is the queen e2 and the other one is the e5. Now we talk about this e5 first. Black should play knight g4, attacking the bishop, and bishop moves back, still protecting the pawn on d4, and at the same time still have some plan to castle on the queen side. And later on, white can play h3. Right here now, after bishop g1, black should proceed with c5, and this plan is a very good move because it looks very dangerous because the rook a8 is quite dangerous, but black should be fine. Here white plays h3. So after this move, white now plays queen e2. Again, white can also play bishop h2, but if for example white captures, bishop d7 is a good move. Of course, if you play such move, there will be like queen d5, but there is a trick line here. So queen b6, and if queen takes, and now bishop b7, the queen is trapped. This is a very good move also. And if for example castle, and then bishop b7, queen d3, and now knight a6, this plan is to play knight b4. So after capture, knight a4, if queen c4, e takes, queen takes, a takes, and of course if you play this, there is knight takes a2, check. Of course this is not a good plan because of rook checks, and later on white has problem on rook h1 later on, so it's not really good advice to play such, because this move is really a winning for black. Now, so the threat is not really strong line, but black can also play this. So it's up to the viewer how you would like to proceed with this line. But this this line is I also like to I also like to play. Queen b2 is the same thing. There is a knight c6 after castle, and now knight f5 threatens knight g3. And if, for example, white plays bishop c4, and we have bishop b7. And there is a very good plan if, like for example, pawn captures, and now knight g3, rook h2, and another line, boom. So it's attacking a lot of weaknesses from white side. So if you, of course, if you play this, then bishop takes, queen takes, bishop takes, knight, b takes, and again queen f6, good move, because there is a weakness on f4 and c3. And for example, he's like trapping the queen, the knight. Then there is rook a8, an intermediate move, because if rook takes, there is queen takes, f4. So if queen d3, this pawn cannot be protected because all the possible squares are under attack. So like queen d3 or queen d2, and now knight e4, which really bothers the position. So it's not really good to capture the pawn because black has a really good tactics. Simply because white's pieces is still not well developed, and while black is already almost ready to fight, except the rooks. But the minor pieces are just, if you can see, actually it's not yet developed, but it's well prepared to attack, or it's just perfect on the setup of d6, c5, b6. Alright. And after the c5, there was h3, and then knight h6, and now d5. He should close the open lines, or else white will really have a big problem on his setup. So after this, d5, bishop b7, and then bishop h2, knight f5. Alright, targeting something. Then if he's now planning to castle, here we go. So it's now destroying the center pawns. If, for example, f takes, and now there is e6, it prepares to attack the pawn on d5. And if, for example, pawn captures, queen takes, knight takes, and then f takes, e6, knight c4, and then knight d4, castle, rook. This is really good for of course this is not possible. Black should play here, and there is a weakness on this g2. There is also weakness on e5, and eventually he will white will have a really very difficult situation. Alright, so we just we just talk about the after b6 is the e5. Here there is another line, queen d2. This queen d2 is to prepare castling on the queen side, and prepares king side onslaught. Here black plays again bishop b7 attacking the pawn, and here comes again knight g4 again. If bishop g1, another move c5, which really destroys the whole Austrian setup, the f4, e5, and the d4. So again, if capture, b takes, castling, and now queen a5. So the pawn on a2 is under attack if if knight moves. Here probably not really a good position for black, for white. First, the pawn cannot capture the d6 because this bishop will attack the whole diagonal, so it's not really wise to capture the position. So after the knight c6, and let's say h3, knight h6, bishop c4, and then here comes knight f5, and for example he plays e6, there is only capture, bishop takes, and king h8. The black's king is safe, while white's king is getting under pressure later on. So for example, bishop f2, and now rook ab8, and slowly there is an attack coming. So for example, he wants to exchange the queen, so this is a loss game now. Rook takes, and after that, good move, it is attacking now the bishop and the pawn on b2. So if capture, check, king c1, rook captures because of the checkmate in one move, so the bishop cannot capture back. c3, check, king c2, and winning position for black. And I hope you enjoyed this video. You can further study more so that you can be better prepared on this line. It looks like after c5, b6, c5, there are lots of holes along the diagonal of the white squared along the queen side, but it's actually okay because white's position is underdeveloped. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe.